What's up, basketball sickos? How about the Knicks defense? That is something I did not expect to say after what I witnessed in Game 4 of the Eastern Conference Finals, where there was no on-ball pressure, there was no physicality, there was poor transition defense. The Knicks looked like an absolute defensive mess. But in Game 5, it was the polar opposite. So how did they do it? How did they win the game 111-94? How did they limit Tyrese Haliburton to just 8 points on 2 of 7 shooting? Let's dive in. We know make or miss, the Pacers like to push the pace, and it was really problematic in Game 4, but one thing I noticed right away is this. Mikal Bridges applying far more pressure. He was completely playing off Haliburton, letting him get downhill, and another big difference, you see Nesmith setting this screen here, right? The Pacers do this shit a lot. Well, Jalen Brunson knows it's coming this time around, and look how aggressive he shows on it. This was not happening in Game 4 at all. So apply some pressure, get back to your man, and this ends up being a really strong defensive possession for the New York Knicks early in this ball game to really set the tone. Let's rewind it again. You see Brunson here forcing Tyrese to make the pass, and then you're just in rotation. Brunson stays attached to Turner, allowing OG to get on him, and OG just playing physical, tough pass, turnover. One note, Morgan was telling me that I've been spending way too much time on this. She says a 16-minute video breakdown is too much. I'm going to try to condense this the best I can. If there's one thing Tyrese can be guilty of is he's passive at times. Only 7 shot attempts is not ideal. This situation, he's looking like he can get downhill and attack. Obviously, you got Brunson on Shepherd, Towns is in help, and you've got Bridges trailing. Tyrese reads the floor so well, but I think sometimes he has the ability to look for his. In this situation, he's not looking for his. He sees Siakam's open, which can be fine, but Bridges is able to recover. Siakam can make this shot, but it's a tougher look, and I think there is probably an opportunity here for Tyrese Haliburton to put some pressure on Cat, especially for a guy who's foul prone. Like, we have seen Cat in this situation. Reach, foul, go attack this guy a little bit. And I'm still confident enough that Tyrese, if he does get downhill on Cat, he is able to make a play if it's not there. You know what I mean? Like, if that shot's not there at the rim, he can get to the corner for Turner or whatever. Instead, you just allow the defense to get off the hook a little bit. The spacing wasn't great there. I know I'm nitpicking here, but I'm just looking for opportunities for Tyrese to look for his a little more often. The Pacers destroyed the Knicks in Game 4 in transition. Great defense by Turner here, and then, oh no, Haliburton off to the races. Cat's the guy in transition. Oh shit. Haliburton could pull up here. Probably could have too. He wasn't comfortable. Cat was in a good closeout, I guess. Picks up the ball, gets it to Shepherd, back to him. Now he's got Brunson on him. I got to give Brunson some credit. I thought his defense in Game 4 was atrocious. And here he's playing up on Haliburton, bumping him, being physical, and forcing him into a really challenging look. Love that from Jalen Brunson. I don't think the Knicks touched Tyrese Haliburton in Game 4. In Game 5, watch this corner here. Mikal Bridges engaging. He's wrapping him. He looks like he's about to slow dance with him. I love that type of shit. It's what Lou Dort does because it just sends a message like, I'm going to be touching you. And if you move, I'm with you. And you're going to have to work hard to get freed here. Tyrese doesn't really do much on this possession, but Bridges is just draped all over him and taking him out of the play. And for Tyrese, you got to move. I know it takes a lot of effort and the fatigue factor will weigh in for sure, but it can't just be standing around. We saw that a lot with Anthony Edwards against OKC. Bridges just stayed physical with him. Look at this possession, immediately grabbing him, just face guarding him. Now in this situation, what's tough is, if you get screened, you got to fight through it. If you don't fight through the screen, your teammates have to be there and help, which was something the Knicks really struggled with in Game 4. But this is a really good sequence by the Knicks defense here. Again, all over Haliburton. Look how much he is working to try to get freed up, but Bridges stays with him. And it turns into a 4-on-4 situation. The Knicks rotations are pretty good here. I like this. Brunson aggressive in his show. Haliburton gives up the ball. And the Pacers are doing the right thing here. Good recovery by McBride. And Tom Thibodeau will live with that. Well, maybe he won't because he's grumpy. But TJ McConnell, late shot clock 3 ball that's contested. Yeah, I think we'll live with that. You want to see some fun defense? The Knicks were awesome on this possession. It's showing, it's switching, it's recovering, it's active hands, leading to a turnover. Brunson, great active hands here on Nesmith. Look at it, swipes it away. That gets the crowd fired up. You love that shit. So how did this all happen? Because you know the Pacers were trying to get some favorable matchups. Well, it starts in the backcourt. Bridges is putting pressure on Tyrese Haliburton, and you've got Nembhard coming over to screen. Immediately, you see Bridges pointing right here. He's telling OG Anunoby to take the matchup against Tyrese Haliburton. Well, the Pacers have a counter, right? They're going to have Nesmith come over and screen OG so they could get a favorable matchup with Brunson defending Haliburton. But what great communication and game plans you see here by the Knicks. Brunson shows here, allowing OG to recover. And Tyrese Haliburton is going to go to the open man. That is Aaron Nesmith. Bridges' man is Nembhard right here. Oh, shit. But this pass is going to Nesmith. Bridges gets in a good defensive position, so the drive is not there. Then he's going to go to his man. Brunson gets back to Nesmith. And then it's just great help by Brunson. Now a one-on-one matchup. He's playing up on him. He's making him work, putting the ball on the floor. Brunson's strong. The swipe down. The turnover. Ugh! Okay, so it wasn't technically a turnover. Pacers ball out of bounds. 7 seconds on the shot clock. Just another great sequence by the Knicks defense, and it's just the communication, engagement, and effort that was not there in game 4. You're going to see right here, Bridges is on Siakam. OG is on Haliburton. Haliburton is going to come up to try to screen, but they just pre-switch it, and you're going to see it. Let's just run through this right here. So, okay. Bridges immediately hugging Tyrese Haliburton. You've got Bradley trying to set a screen. And by the way, can he not wear number 13? That just looks weird to me. It's not Paul George's number. Anyway, all over Tyrese Haliburton. So he can't get the ball. They get to Siakam. Nesmith's going to come over to screen OG. This is up to Brunson to get up and don't allow an easy drive. Don't allow a jumper. Look at this show here by Jalen Brunson. Getting physical. OG's like, late shot clock situation? There's 4.6 seconds. I'm doubling here. I'm forcing Siakam to make a decision here. Turn around. The shot wasn't there. He dishes to Nesmith. But what you notice here, Bridges is locked in too. He's watching. He's looking at his man, but he notices the clock, and he is there to contest this. He leaves Haliburton because Siakam is going to Nesmith. Great closeout. Forcing a tough look. Great defense by the Knicks. Ugh! Honestly, if I was a Knicks fan, I would be slightly irritated by what I saw in Game 5 because it's exactly what you need to see every single game of the Eastern Conference Finals, and you saw none of that in Game 4. None of it. Game 5 was so much better, and now can you carry that over? I think they are capable of doing it. I do think Indiana can play a lot better than they did. They did miss some good looks early on. They turned the ball over. It was just a tough night. And Tyrese Haliburton has to look for his more. There's no doubt about it. If the Knicks can play like they did in Game 5, we could be talking about a Game 7 at Madison Square Garden. I hope we get that, just as a basketball fan. Anyway, let me know what you thought about what we talked about in the video, anything that we missed, and how you're feeling about this series. Could the Knicks come back and win this series? Let me know in the comments below. Hit the thumbs up and subscribe.
Deuce and Mo. Deuce and Mo. Deuce and Mo. They tell you what they know. Deuce and Mo. Deuce and Mo. Deuce and Mo.